we've talked about wills and when to make wills. How to change a will? Is that possible once you make a will to change it? It should be possible.
Yes, you can update your will. I'll let Sulaika go into that,
Yes.
or Vincent.
Yeah, you want to add anything, Vincent?
When you want to change a will, there's a change in circumstances. You actually have to draft up a new will. It can follow the same format, but the new amendments would obviously be included in this new will.
Right. So like for most of our viewers, it may be the case that they might have assets in other countries as well. In that situation, is there anything special or important that they need to realize or we need to understand in doing a will? How does an Australian will affect property in another jurisdiction? Is that possible?
It is possible to include all the properties that you want to give situated in any country
Right.
in one particular will, because a person is expected to have one will. So you can't just have, for example, one will in Australia, another will in Sri Lanka, and another will in Korea. So you need to have one will. So, but it could be an issue in distribution of that. So one should take into consideration the laws of that particular country. But your intentions are, if it is clear in the will have a big weight on that. Let me just run through one example. If a husband and wife has purchased a house in joint names, or which we call the legality under joint tenancy, and the husband wants now to do a will, and he wants to leave the house to his children, but not to the wife, because he believes for some reason he's the one who went to work, he's the one who paid off the mortgage, so he has the right to leave the will. But when you take Australia, particularly Victoria,
So you're talking about other jurisdictions?
the jurisdiction matters.
Right.
So
Not Australia. Now you're talking about
no, I'm
Australia.
talking about Australia. Just giving the example
right.
of that.
Yeah.
So say for example, so the husband wants to the joint name property, but he wants to give the house to the children. But the house is purchased under something we call the joint tenancy.
Yes.
So we step aside from the wills laws applicable or the succession laws to the ordinary property law, which the property law says if you purchase a house together
As
under
joint tenants as
tenancy,
opposed to tenants in
tenancy,
common. Yeah.
the rule is when one party passes away, automatically it goes to the other party, not to the children.
That raises another important aspects in relation to superannuation.
Yes.
Can a will dictate how the super funds goes into whom?
Unfortunately, the will can't. Will can confirm what you have done, but the superannuation trustee would have the power at the end just to decide what should happen, and usually they go with what the person has filled in as the beneficiaries.
All right. So what that means is you need to be careful when you're filling your superannuation forms, and if you change your mind later, you have to update the forms. Otherwise, what you wrote will take precedent, in the sense that advice in the application form given to the super fund will continue. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. Yes.
Right, and it cannot be, just to make sure, funds in the superannuation cannot be dealt by way of a will.
No, we can't. We can't.
Can't.
We can confirm
Oh,
in a
confirm.
will,
Yeah.
but we can't dealt completely in a different way.
Now we have seen will kits. You can easily buy a kit if you go to a post office. What's your experience and advice in relation to that?
Will kits address the basics of the will. It's just like filling up blanks. So a will is a much complicated document. It has to properly reflect your wishes, and those documents are not tailored for that. So therefore, it's much better to get your will drafted by a legal personnel, so they can draft it in a way that it will be not challenged, or if it is challenged, still those challenges will not stand up. Exactly reflect
Your intentions, because you're not there. You're in a better place, hopefully. That's all the time we have for you today. But just before we finish, can we have your last words? Vincent?
I think it's important to have a will drafted by a legal practitioner. That way you get to tailor-make your will according to your wishes, as opposed to a will kit where it's simply filling in the blanks.
All right. And Sulaika?
I would say just remember to update your will if something changed, and make sure that you keep it in a safe place.
Emily?
Dinesh, I agree with Sulaika and Vincent. It's a very complex area. Family relationships are very much different to what they used to be, and the best way to protect those after you've passed away is to make a will.
All right. And let me thank you for coming here and sharing your knowledge with us today. Remember, all our episodes are on our YouTube channel now, or on Facebook, or you can go to our website www.lawhelpaustralia.org. Bye for now.